case of hydrogen, I think hydrogen was the oil industry's dandy because it basically was a way to invest in an alternative that was so far out that
sustain their current.
It would never really be a major competitor in the short run.
Okay, so interestingly enough, as we segue from that, in the years following, there's actually been an evolution of sorts, that alternative energy-wise. It's seen the introduction of real technologies that work.
Yes.
Solar.
Absolutely.
Wind.
Absolutely.
So,
and biofuels. Biofuels, I think, will pan out. It won't be corn going to ethanol,
right.
but there are loads of other opportunities, and some of these are still not very cost effective yet. But you know, as you see with time, these things becoming more and more cost effective, people solving important biological problems as well as economic and agricultural problems associated with them, so that you know, it's going to happen.
Well, what's interesting to me is in the current environment, you're seeing adoption of viable technologies accelerate now, and
Absolutely.
it's opportunity for us in the portfolio. It's not like hydrogen or some of these other things where you have to hope that it might happen.
Right.
These things are happening, and we're seeing real revenue generate. I mean, First Solar was a good example in the solar sector of a stock that kind of caught lightning in a bottle and it just took off. I unfortunately never owned that stock, but I see opportunities now that are similar or parallel to the advances First Solar saw in areas like batteries.
Absolutely. And ironically, once these alternatives come on board, it will actually produce opportunities for things like hydrogen, because at least one of the issues with hydrogen, where do you get clean energy to produce it, will have been solved. I'm not pushing hydrogen, mind you,
right,
but I just want people to understand that this is not an either or. Everything is coupled. Everything is complementary, and you got to forever rethink your position as technologies evolve.
Isn't that why batteries are so interesting? Because when you have solar, when you have wind, and you have sporadic contributions of energy back from some of these sources, then you have to look at ways to store it to regulate the output or the so
energy storage is a no-brainer. Energy storage is a no-brainer.
So one of the portfolio holdings currently is a lithium-ion battery maker that's an early leader. They're using a nanotechnology to create these batteries, and they've had good reception from automakers, truck makers, and projections are for revenues to go up significantly in the coming years. Can you tell us a little bit about lithium-ion technology, why it's a good solution in terms of fast charge and long-term or longer-lasting electrification?
Well, first of all, I mean, storage is it, and you'll see, in addition to lithium-ion batteries, you will see other storage vehicles and other storage media that'll come on board. And I agree with you. As these alternatives come on board, especially alternatives that have, like wind, sometimes the wind blows, sometimes the wind doesn't blow. Sometimes there's high usage when there's lots of wind, sometimes there isn't. It'll be obvious that storage will be an important component. Lithium-ion batteries are currently in vogue because they return a lot for your investment. First of all, they can be charged and recharged relatively quickly and many, many times without degradation. Right. They are light, so the amount of energy per mass, per pound is good. So if you're going to use them in a mobile application like cars, you don't want to load down your car with a whole bunch of stuff that then costs money to transport. You want things to be light, and frankly, there's just been a lot of advanced research in that area. So we know a lot about lithium batteries. Mind you, there's still a lot of improvements that can be made.
Right.
So what you're looking at is something that is already a mature technology that is clearly ready for prime time, but with a future as well as these new things keep
But
keep being developed.
even when you look at it though in relationship to solar, let's say, I mean, First Solar's market cap at one point was over 20 billion, which I think was excessive. And it has come in since. But point being that technology also needs to see advancements.
Oh, huge!
I mean, the yield isn't that great at this point.
No, and there will be ups and downs in that industry as the materials issues come on board. So, for example, some of the most attractive solar materials are based on elements that are fairly in fairly short supply, and so there's an economic component there. In other cases, there may be environmental issues. So there's a lot to be decided in solar. There are polymer and organic solar cells that are coming on stream. They're not hugely efficient yet, and they don't have a huge lifetime yet, but they're getting pretty darn close.
They're a breakthrough away.
They are a minor breakthrough away.
But I think from the encouraging standpoint from an investment is seeing the success of a company like First Solar with a technology that isn't yet what it can be. So when we're looking at these battery investments, even though they're going to see tremendous improvements over time, it's still a viable technology today and a money-generating technology.
Absolutely. These are sort of no-brainers. You don't have to look in a crystal ball to see that this is where things